Tyranny. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. In Tyranny, the grand war between good and evil is over, and the forces of evil led by Kairos the Overlord have won. The Overlord's merciless armies dominate the face of the world, and its Denzians must find their new roles within the war-torn realm, even as discord begins to rumble among the ranks of Kairos' most powerful Archons. Players will experience the new world order under the Overlord in a reactive role-playing game, interacting with the populace as a powerful fate-bringer in the Overlord's forces, roaming the lands to inspire loyalty or fear as they bring control to the last holdouts of the tiers. Yes guys, Tyranny dropped in November last year, so it is a pretty new game, and it got rip-roaring reviews. It's a full-price AAA RPG that's in isometric view, and I love RPGs, to be honest with you. I mean, ever since played the MMOs, the old MMOs like Warcraft and things like that, and Guild Wars, I kind of like the whole leveling up your guy, giving him a name, choosing his class, choosing his race, getting new armor, new weapons that's better than the ones you've got, kitting them out with lots of different talents and armor, and being a spellcaster. Then if you get bored with that, start the game again and become a warrior or a rogue. It's all that kind of stuff. You've probably all played RPGs before, but this one is a bit different. This one, as you've probably gathered from the description, allows you to play as a bastard. And that's a good thing, because you can't really do that in life unless you want to spend a long time in jail. So it is nice to be able to play a game like this just to set the scene. There's been a war and it's over, the bad guys won. And your job is to go out as what's called a fate bringer, and you have to just basically sort out the what's left of these little bands, little gangs roaming around the place, and you've got to kind of decide what's to be done with a lot of them. Now, there's lots of different ways you can play this game, and it does get quite confusing. There's two main factions in this game that don't like each other at all, but they've joined forces to win the war. You have the Nazis and the football hooligans. Pretty much, basically, that's the way. That's how it felt when I was playing it. One bunch are like professional, disciplined soldiers, and the other bunch are just an angry rabble of absolute psychos. And I joined them. You don't have to. You can join none of them and just go off on your own. But you will interact with them all the way through the game, and you will interact with little pockets of resistance. You'll interact with towns and villages, and you'll buy and sell goods. You'll find stuff. You'll level up all different types of attributes for your guys. You will form a little group. You know, like Lord of the Rings, when there's the little group, you know, you have the archer, you have the dwarf with his axe, and like tank, and you know the way it is. You get a little group of followers together, and you know, you can have a tank in that, a healer, a bit of a spell casting guy, a total dual wielding savage, and archer. I chose to be an archery rogue on the advice of the guy who gifted this game to me, one of my subscribers, and I am liking that role, but I found it very, very weak. I kind of wished for my first playthrough that I chose somebody with a bit more armor and maybe a sword and a shield and being the tank. But it is hard. I found the game hard, but the big problem that I found with this game was not how hard it was, but I found it just too slow. It was just a little bit, well, a lot too slow for me. I'm not massively into the isometric view either. I'd much prefer it to be like a third-person view. I'd much prefer it to be a first-person view, but third-person would have done just as good in an RPG like this. But isometric, it's clunky, guys. The combat is very clunky. It's also sort of turn-based pause. The whole game plays in real time, but it is kind of turn-based, because what happens is when you're in combat, let's say you're in combat with a group of enemies and you've got your little group, as soon as the fight kicks off, pause the game, and what you do, you select each of your guys and tell them what ability to use on which enemy, and then you unpause it while they do that, then pause it again, then select the next ability. Each fight can take quite a while if you're micromanaging each part of your group. Now the AI will do all the other men for you. You just need to control your own guy, and the AI will kind of do it, but when you get a few abilities, the AI is a bit shit. It won't specifically heal the right person when you want it healing and things like that. So I found it best to just do it all myself, and that's where I found that the micromanaging can be a bit overwhelming. Not overwhelming as in, oh my goodness, this is too difficult, but just boring overwhelming and clunky as well. But trying to get in with your little pointer to say, no, heal him, when there's like 5 people grouped around. It's you could probably, I don't know whether you can actually use the portrait to do that. You probably can actually, but I didn't think of that when I was playing. So the combat is not brilliant, so I'm going to say that. The RPG factor is brilliant. What I love about this game is the dialogue. There is a lot of reading. If you don't like reading in games, don't even touch this with a barge pole. Pretty much everybody you interact with will have loads, the amount of love that's gone into this game. There'll be loads of options to talk, and a lot of it's, in fact most of it's, about you being a bastard. Should I kill him? Yes. Can I lie? Yeah, you can lie. If you surrender, we'll let you go. Oh, okay, we surrender. Now we're going to kill you. It's that kind of game. You're a bastard. You're a complete... And I love that, because that's kind of taboo in games. You know, throwing people off cliffs. Oh yeah, commonplace in this game. Murdering prisoners, cutting their throats, setting fire to people, burning a whole village, raping everybody. Oh yeah, it's all part and parcel of the game. You make the decisions to what's going to happen to the vast majority of people in this game, and you can be a complete bastard if you want to be. And I like that, because you know, it takes a bit of balls to do that, because there's so many politically correct gamers out there and reviewers who will go, oh no, we don't like that, think of the children, you know, that's bog off. So it's quite nice that these have actually done that, and you know, you have got that, but it wasn't enough to save it. I just couldn't get really into it. It didn't get under my skin like a lot of RPGs do, and I found myself really struggling. It was like, it felt more of a chore. It was good at first, but then it just kind of overwhelmed me with text and the combat. If the combat was brilliant, then I wouldn't mind so much. If it was really good combat, this is why I didn't like The Witcher 3. I loved everything about The Witcher 3 except the combat, and the combat is the main thing in these kind of games. And if the combat's shit, then I'm sorry, but the game is not that good. And I had a look at my Steam list to see how many of my subscribers actually own this game, and there's only one of them actually seems to like it. He's done 73 hours in it. All the others, well, I'll tell you, 1.5, 0.1, 3.7, 1.4, 1.3, 5.1, 0.9. So that sits well with me, because that's exactly how I felt about the game. It's kind of like, yeah, you'll either love it, it's Marmite. This game is Marmite. You're either going to love it and throw 73 hours in, or you're going to hate it and throw 4 or 5 hours in. And this channel is not a review channel. Let's get that clear. This is a worth a buy channel. Is the game worth a buy? To the masses, not to the niche people with long scraggly beards and, you know, girlfriends with blue hair and Marvel t-shirts on. You know, we're talking about the vast majority. And I've got nothing against that. I'm actually growing a beard. And when I do get a girlfriend, I will dye her hair blue and put a Marvel t-shirt on her. What I do is, what my job is to send a message out to the average gamer. You know, is it worth buying this game? Well, the game is good. If you are thoroughly into RPG games, absolutely go and buy it. That's what I said about Witcher 3. If you're into all of that and you don't mind the combat, yeah, Witcher 3 is definitely worth a buy, as is Tyranny. So take that on board, because that is very important. If, however, you kind of like the idea of an RPG, but you're not a real dedicated RPG fan, you probably will regret it and become bored and throw £35 down the toilet. What I would do is wait till it goes on sale, then maybe have a look at it, because it isn't a bad game. It's a very solid RPG from a totally different standpoint to most RPGs, as in this one comes from the side of the bastards. There's loads of leveling up to do, loads of attributes, loads of armor, loads of things to do. It's a game that you can absolutely sink hours into if you like it. Unfortunately, it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me.